All right, well, Alone Season 11 is coming out, just coming out. Saw the first episode this morning, and it was pretty good. They're doing it in the Mackenzie River Delta, which is a fairly similar region to where I was, which I just think is the right place for the show. Somewhere that's going to reward activity, reward skill, and hard work. And so those seasons are always the best seasons of Alone. So I have high hopes for this one. A lot of interesting, skilled people on this season, and definitely look forward to watching it. I will say, you've probably seen that I put out these videos or have on certain seasons. The fact is, I'm always gone all summer up in the mountains, right up there. So I never have a chance to really watch this show until long after it's out. So again, this year's no different, but I did get to watch episode 1. And as I maybe pop out and get to see other episodes, I'll give you a little bit of a commentary. But this one was, again, really good. We saw several people. I don't remember what particular order, but we saw Dub and Cubby and Michaela and oh gosh, why am I spacing? William. So that was what the episode's focused on. We saw Dub. He had that beautiful chance at a reindeer, caribou, we should say here. But it's tough, it's tough having that opportunity and not be able to capitalize it. We saw on season 3, the lady had that deer come right into her camp, and then a couple seasons ago, Cade had a reindeer right at 20 yards broadside, but alas, it's not on the menu. So the good thing for Dub here is it was day 1, so you have plenty of time to be like, oh, that was a cool encounter, recover and continue as per usual. I'm sure on day 30, when you're starving already, if you had that opportunity, it'd be a lot more painful to watch it walk off. But that was cool. We see people already catching fish, having some luck. William whacking those little gosh, now even the name of them are slipping my head, but those little fish in the creek he sees, and hey, that's great. He's getting calories. Michaela's found a little liver. And Cubby, man, he's the main guy this episode, I guess, because spoiler alert, he does go out at the end. That was a rough injury. I mean, talk about a close call, getting the broadhead 4 inches in your inner thigh. Obviously very close to being a fatal injury out there in the woods. They can't get to you that fast. I'd say in an extreme emergency, in a position like he was out in the woods somewhere, they're not going to get there any faster than 30-40 minutes, I'm sure. But he fortunately took it out really carefully, was able to get it out without actually doing any further damage. It's amazing, though, a sharp arrow like that, you fall on it wrong. You couldn't really see what happened in the video, but what an unfortunate wound. I mean, it's not really much you can do. You get an injury like that, it's easy to say, like, oh, why don't you stay out there, see if it gets infected, see if you can recover. But to be honest, you're sitting there and you're like, man, it's not worth dying out here. It's and you get a little, who knows what happens on a puncture wound like that. So he made the right choice for sure, and it seemed like he drew some really good lessons from it, although his stay was short. 4 days in the woods is enough time to just, again, consider how much you care about your family, your friends. His buddy who had passed away had imparted some great wisdom. So anyway, too bad it didn't go better for him, but thus will be the story for 9 out of 10 of them. So, it's not all about winning. It's just about going out there and seeing what you can make happen. If you get bad luck or have an accident, things happen. So good job, Cubby. As to the other 3, it was fun to watch McKella. She came out on a summer course with me in the mountains a couple years ago, and I told her she should try to apply because I just liked her mindset. She's had good problem-solving abilities, carved up a cool paddle for our canoe, or our kayak that we bushcrafted up in the mountains, and I just kind of liked her approach, and so she applied, and here she is. We're watching her. She took one of my custom axes that I'm selling right now, and by the way, those are available. Check them out at my website. But really cool. Obviously, I have a soft spot watching her because I know her personally, and I loved those little duck decoys she built. Those were actually really cool. It makes you think of ways you could wrap some sheet or something around them to make them a little white color, put some charcoal eyes on them or something. Anyway, but I loved those things. Those were great. I hope they work just because it's a cool idea. Anyway, that was fun to watch. Let's see, and then we had Dub, with a Grizzly running around his shelter, and his commentary on that situation is how it is. I mean, you watch the show and you're like, oh, come on, don't be scared. Nobody gets eaten by grizzlies that often. But when you're out there and you're alone, they definitely hug your axe or your bear spray a little closer at night. And so he's going to get on to building a little more robust shelter. That does kind of throw a little, in my strategy that I like is obviously you focus on food first. Of course, you're adaptable, but anyway, generally I like to really focus on food. I think that's what he was going for, quick shelter, focus on food. But then you got a grizzly sniffing around your little twig fort at night. It does make you think, maybe I got to build something a little more serious. So it'll be interesting to see what he comes up with. Anyway, I'm going to keep it short, but I figured I'd do a quick few thoughts as to the episode. That said, overall, I'm really excited about the show in general because I do think it's in a really cool spot. Again, just what I want for the show, places that reward activity and skill, and I think we're in it again. So obviously season 6, season 7 were really good seasons. I think we'll be on one again here. Different routes forward. You're gonna have every type of game up there, and I'm excited to see how people exploit the fishing, the snaring, and the hunting. It's gonna make for a good one. So stay tuned, and good to see you all, or whatever. Cheers.